We welcome in Steve Burkowski and Brentley Romine.
Matt, a notable omission when you look at the tee times for tomorrow. Rianne Malixi, the news of this Tuesday, the U.S. Girls Junior Champ and U.S. Women's Amateur Champ from a year ago, had to withdraw due to a nagging back injury. I spoke to her midday, talked about this lower back injury that she's dealt with since she was 14, Brentley. Asked her how close to 100% she was. She guesstimated 40 to 50%. Played just 4 holes of a practice round today and said the back started hurting. Went to see the physio, a doctor, to get more intel on just how healthy she could be. And then an hour later, she texted me and said, I have to withdraw. I have to think long-term to try to fight through this, play through this. Would not serve her well moving forward. What's your reaction to losing one of the best players in the amateurs game?
I think it's a massive blow for her for this championship. I mean, this is the equivalent of a Xander Schauffele or a Colin Morikawa withdrawing from the Masters. But I think more importantly for Rianne, she's going to have a lot of big tournaments ahead of her in her lifetime. And I think now that she's WD'd from 2 straight premier events on the women's amateur golf calendar, she just has to make sure that she gets healthy to defend the U.S. Women's Amateur later this summer and when she arrives in Durham to play for Duke this fall.
We talked about Rianne winning those 2 USGA championships a year ago. The young lady she defeated on both those occasions. Asterisk Talley, you are very bullish on her becoming maybe the next great teenage phenom. What stands out to you about Talley?
Well, I think you could argue that she probably enters this week playing the best golf of her career. I mean, she's up to 14th in the World Amateur Golf Ranking. That's a career best. She's won 3 straight AJGA titles. And when you think about her in this championship in particular, she was T8 last year, but she had to make a 5-footer on the last hole here on Friday or on Thursday in the second round just to make the cut. And this is a championship, too, that I think she could win because it has been kind to junior golfers. You think about the 2 winners, Subasa Kajitani and Anna Davis. A couple years ago, we had 3 17-year-olds finish in the top 5. And then last year, Jasmine Coos 4th, Gianna Clement in the final group. So if we're thinking about junior golfers who could play well, Asterisk Talley is certainly one of them.
You talk about last year, Lottie Wood from Florida State winning the Augusta National Women's Amateur, but it's a different Seminole in 2025 that maybe is playing even better than Lottie Wood. Who is she and what has she done over the last 12 months?
Well, her name's Mirabel Ting, and she's a junior, and she was a transfer from Augusta a couple of years ago. But she's having arguably one of the best NCAA seasons ever. 5 wins in 6 events. She missed 2 events in the fall for playing in an LPGA event in Malaysia, T13 in that event. But we talk about this all the time on our podcast, Burko. Best NCAA seasons of all time. You look there, Lorena Ochoa, you got to start there. That's the standard. 8 wins and 10 starts, lost to just 2 players all year. Once in the Pac-10s, once in the NCAA championship. And I look back in the player that Mirabel was last year and the player that she is now, and the improvement is in the putting. Amy Bond, her head coach, calls her the best ball striker she's ever seen. But the putting has been a liability over the years, but credit to her, the last few months, she's done a lot of work with Chris A., her coach out of Thailand, also works with Gino Titikun, and they've shortened her putter shaft 3 inches. They've got her close to the ball, her eyes over the ball, just trying to shorten everything so that she can be more consistent. And you know, a player like that, if she gets the ball rolling, you're not necessarily trying to be a great putter. You're just trying to have more great putting rounds, and she's certainly stacking those right now.
And we just showed a stat of historic seasons in women's collegiate golf. 2 Stanford Cardinal on that list, and Rachel Heck and Rose Zhang. Rose, a winner of this tournament 2 years ago, and no surprise to see Stanford with 6 players currently on their roster teeing it up right here tomorrow at Champions Retreat. Which one stands out to you as potentially the player that has the best chance to win come Saturday?
I could go chalk and go with someone like Meha Ortegren, but I'm going to go Paula Martin San Pedro. She's a sophomore. She had 8 top 7 finishes a year ago. Didn't have a win, though, and I asked her head coach, Ann Walker, coming into this season last fall, what was the reason why she couldn't quite get over the hump? And she said immediately, short game. She got up and down just 35% of the time last year during her freshman college season. That's obviously been a big area of improvement for her this year. She's got 2 wins, and I just feel like with her type of game, she's not very long, but she's so precise, maybe the most accurate player in this field. If she can get through 36 holes here at a long Champions Retreat in contention and in the hunt, I really like her chances at Augusta with how well she hits her irons.
Well, the numbers say Stanford has about an 8.5% chance of winning this year. Matt, as we send it back to you.
Gents, thank you very much. Excellent work there. Excellent job in your podcast as well.